We had an incredible 2 days here.
Over the long weekend of February 11th and 12th, 2018, 36 dedicated staff members from the Pleasanton Unified School District had the unique and life-changing opportunity to spend 2 days exploring human behavior, social justice, and our diversity at the Museum of Tolerance in Los Angeles. And these are their stories.
Every time I come to the Museum of Tolerance, there's always something new.
I felt that this experience was just so amazing and inspiring this whole weekend.
My experience at the Museum of Tolerance was incredibly moving. There were so many things that just affected you emotionally, and the parallels to today, it's hard not to be a little concerned, but I left feeling hopeful and willing to do more.
The Museum of Tolerance was an eye-opening experience, emotionally exhausting and worth it.
My 2 days here has been amazing, especially with friends and colleagues, and it's made me a braver person all around.
William Harvey spoke to us about his experience as a Holocaust survivor. He took an incredibly horrific experience, and by the end of his talk, I was moved and uplifted to take action and inspired to improve my own life and make more of it.
I was age of 12. I heard Hitler speak on the radio to the world, and he announced, "I'm gonna kill every Jew in this world. If I don't succeed to kill every Jew in this world, I make it sure the one who remains alive never gonna be happy. Doesn't matter what part of the world they gonna live in, because they're gonna lose some member of their family." And in the end, he said, why? There is no why. The Jews are guilty when they're born.
One thing that really stands out to me was that line, the continuum we saw that went from hate speech and the progression to vandalism and violence and acts of terror, and the discussion on, law enforcement's role in that is they have to protect that speech. It's our First Amendment right, but that's where our role as educators come in. And when we see that or hear that, it's our job to redirect those conversations into much more positive language.
First thing I have to learn not to hate my enemies. Hatred destroys a person. You can't live with hatred. It was very difficult. The definition of hatred is loss of blood, and without blood you have no life. And I also discovered that the best revenge is success. So I was determined to make success out of my life.
My favorite part about the Museum of Tolerance was listening to the Holocaust survivor speak about his horrific experience, yet he still found forgiveness because he decided to choose love and still decides to choose love every day.
We're very thrilled to be able to participate in the Museum of Tolerance. This is our 4th year that Pleasanton Unified School District has taken a group of educators, including community members, to this life-enriching experience. We go there to get a deeper understanding about social justice and areas that we need to further improve in our school community to make sure that every student has a quality, equitable education. We also there to do some personal work about areas that we can further improve as individuals who are committed to making sure that every child is welcome and accepted and loved within our school community.
I think the thing that really made the biggest impact on me was listening to Bill Harvey and Fan Chen's performance and just learning so much about their personal experiences. And it really struck me how important it is for each of us to be courageous and willing to share our own truths authentically with each other so that we can get to know each other on a personal level and make that connection that can grow true understanding and empathy and break down barriers between us.
Yeah, I enjoyed the weekend at the Museum of Tolerance because it allowed me to meet everyone in the district as well whom otherwise I would not have met, and share our ideas together and really got to know them as people rather than just co-workers, so that was fun.
I'm always in awe about the teachers and classified staff who volunteer their time to deepen their learning in this area, and we're looking forward to continuing to making our district strategic plan a reality for every student, and we know that together we can make it happen. So we're just excited and looking forward to our continuing learning journey.
I was able to connect with different people in the school district and explain what we do at Kids Club and give them a better understanding and how we work together to create a better curriculum for our students.
Hey there, the greatest part about this experience is the connections that I make with my colleagues, and really helps me develop those relationships with the folks that I work with every day. And I realize that we are all here for the same reason, which is the students.
My experience at the Museum of Tolerance was one of a lot of emotions, fear, excitement, hope, a lot of aspirations, and it also helped me to challenge my own biases and beliefs.
Through this experience, I went on such a personal journey this weekend and exploring my own thoughts and feelings about really big issues and subjects and topics. And I just have been thinking a lot about not only how to impact students, but how we can bring this back to our school sites and impact staff so that they can have a personal journey of their own.
I was inspired by the dialogue and the comments of my colleagues. It was very interesting, and I appreciate being there this weekend.
I definitely learned a lot about myself in terms of unpacking privilege and learning about how to take what we learned to what we do every day.
I really enjoyed the opportunity to go with the Pleasanton Unified School District on this experience at Museum of Tolerance. And I learned a lot about the district, and I learned a lot about the people who were there, and I learned a lot about myself in terms of how I address issues around injustice in our community. So I was really thankful.
I really appreciated the trip to the Museum of Tolerance. I was able to better understand my students and how I can help them and their diverse backgrounds and the stuff they bring from home into the classroom in order to help them better.
It's also exciting that I can help children learn how to become part of a diverse America.
Visiting the Museum of Tolerance made me look at biases that I may have that I didn't even know I had.
This trip really made me think about how we need to have more books in our school libraries that give us windows and mirrors for kids to either see themselves in books and make connections that relate to their own lives, or that show kids what other people's experiences have been like, and also to have more books that don't just feature the heroes of different groups of people, but that feature all different types of people.
And the Museum of Tolerance, of course, was a good catalyst for us to open up our minds about how we feel about what's going on now, and make connections with the past and see how we can go on a safer route.
For me, the highlight of the weekend was the One Drop of Love performance. It just blew me out of the water. I've never seen anything like it.
A most important word in this vocabulary was Fanshan. It done a real good job looking at this thing here. To China's hundreds of millions of landless and land-poor peasants, it meant to stand up. I had become a racial being.
So Fanshan, she did a one-woman production of One Drop of Love, and it was a one-woman show about her own life experience and just what just all that she had gone through in her life, being of mixed racial identity and just what that meant for her and her whole background, and how we never really know what a person has been through just by looking at someone, how we can't possibly judge a person by their cover, but that we really do need to get to know one another on a personal level to come to an understanding of truly what a person is about.
No, I'm not joining the Black Student Union because I'm Cherokee and Danish, and you what? Start by asking him about him father. What you see? What you know I'm so private.
To see the convergence of love and equity and struggle and art all accumulate into one performance was pretty impressive for me.
Hashtag tolerance, people. Tolerance.
I'm excited to take back the amazing resources that Emily shared with us from teachingtolerance.org to help our staff and students learn more through social justice education.
I'm excited about all of the resources that we have there.
I think my big takeaway from this experience at the Museum of Tolerance was really diving into the social justice standards and looking at the strands of identity, diversity, justice, and action.
I had no idea that there were the social justice standards, so that really opened my eyes to a new set of standards that I can incorporate in the classroom.
I learned about the 20 face-to-face advisories on tolerance.org, and that's teaching kids how to better communicate with each other using kind words, and they have different activities that you can use.
I've gotten a deeper understanding of the teaching tolerance curriculum and the various standards and how they can be implemented in various areas of our school community, both curricular and extracurricular, and receive some ideas from our site administrators about how they can use this to continue the deepening the work that they're doing at their school site.
I really appreciate how the anti-bias standards and curriculum can be applied to all academic subjects.
The 2 days have been great. It's what's been most beneficial to me is to stop and think about how we can teach the young kids, the kindergartners, the TK, the first grade, about celebrating the diversity around us.
And the curriculum is also amazing, and that's kind of a good resource and tool and a way to start with hopefully having some effect on both teachers and students.
It also will help our staff be able to handle some tough situations, some tough conversations that our kids bring to us on a daily basis.
One of the more powerful things for me was the contemporary connections to today. You know, every time our students turn on the TV, scroll through their social media, they're seeing, stories about acts of violence, of terrorism, of hate. And how do we show them that history repeats itself and what our role is in changing that?
I can't wait to bring more people down and continue the growth and the learning so that I can help all the students just feel valued and enriched on campus.
I appreciated the time to sit with my peers where we're all exposed to diverse education, understanding that diversity doesn't just mean that there are different colors in the room, but there are actually different experiences and different understandings to the world, and bringing that into the classroom through a curriculum that addresses not just diversity, but identity, that addresses action, that addresses justice as part of a whole person perspective is going to serve Pleasanton well. I appreciate the opportunity that we had to do this in a setting that was protected and that exposed us to events throughout the world, both current and past, that impact the lives of our students and impact our lives and should be brought into our daily experiences of education.